You are not an afterthought of God. Nope. You are actually a pure, good, original thought, and you are loved without condition. See, mankind has attributed man-like qualities or characteristics to God. We believe as far as our perceptions will allow us to see. We are limited in our thinking, and we say that God is that way, but we are the ones mistaken. The qualities that we possess are in God, of course, because nothing is outside of God. We are all a part of the greater whole that encompasses all that is. We are unique expressions, or what we call creations. But God is beyond all that we see. In God, our thoughts and our ways and creations that we do not have the full capacity to understand. So what do? We point fingers and judge other parts of creation based on how life makes sense to us. With that way of thinking, we will never know God fully. And because He made us that way, maybe we're not supposed to. We judge generations of the past on why they did this or did that, or what they did not know. We look at our parents, teachers, spiritual leaders, and other authority figures, and we say all the things that they could have done better or differently. Then we look at the generations after us and we judge them because they are innovative and unrestricted. They explore, and we live in fear that they are going too far. My question would be, what is too far in a world that yet has mysteries to uncover? See, our focus is on the wrong thing. We focus more on how to make someone get right, quote unquote, and not enough on how to heal the brokenness caused by our egos, biases, and judgments. We want everyone to do what is right to us, or what we feel is right based on our upbringing and teachings. If that does not happen, we scrutinize and speak shameful things. And then, because we go off of what someone says, we hold on to prejudices without ever getting clarity. We waste years of hate. Generations after generations hate each other, and most of us don't know where it started or why it started. We are afraid to think our own thoughts. And we forget that only we are responsible for what we choose to believe after a certain point of development. It doesn't bring your inner kingdom peace. If it doesn't, then why not? Christ Joshua spoke of love, never coming to start a new religion, but to teach us what true religion was. He said true religion was taking care of the widows and the orphans, and to show us the better, more perfect or mature way. We have attributed new religious dogma and ideologies to the message of Yahshua, aka Jesus, that He Himself would have rejected. What is the true message of the gospel? Do we even know? And if we connect to anything that has to do with God's punishment or laws that reject one but shuns another, then we still don't understand it. We have got to see through the eyes of love, which is God, all encompassing but not all understood. We are forever evolving, so how is it so easy for us to judge another based on limited knowledge and revelation? Every great leader, or maybe I should say spiritual leader, innately holds the Christ mind and principle. I want you to think on these things. Also think on this. If with God all things are possible, why do we limit what is of God before we ask for full understanding? Yeah, we got a lot to think about in this hour, because things are changing all around us, whether we like it or not. And sometimes those changes happen because somebody else thought a thought, or they created a thing, or they changed the direction of their message, or what they thought was possible because they learned something new. But aren't we always learning something more? I think the biggest thing for me is when we act as if we already know all the answers. But it is very evident that God is too big, too wide, and too all-encompassing for us to really know the entire message. Even as I say what I'm saying, I have to understand that with God, all things are possible and He is sovereign. And me saying He is simply because that's what I learned, and it's comfortable for me to see God as a He, not as a spirit that is everything and all things at all times. When the scriptures tell us that He made all things for Himself, even the wicked for the evil day, I had to then begin to explore the fact that maybe I don't understand evil or wickedness like I thought I did. I don't understand why God chose to do certain things, and it's okay for me not to know. But do you know that it's okay for you not to know as well? If it's uncomfortable to your inner man, to your spirit, then it's either that you were taught that it should be uncomfortable, or it really is not resonating with your spirit. And if that be the case, then ask God to continue to lead you and guide you into all truth until there is nothing but shalom that exudes from you every day. Nothing but full peace. The peace that surpasses all understanding. Get it? Well, I want you to think on these things. Not change your perception just yet, but to really think about these things and then begin to ask the questions. And yes, it's okay for us to ask the questions. This is the Inspirational Treasure. Thank you so much for letting me speak.